out about.
You're first in line. What are you waiting?
Yeah.
All right. So this past week, my wife and I watched The Boy and the Heron, which is Studio Ghibli's newest film. It was very good. It's won several awards, so I was expecting to be good. Plus, it was Studio Ghibli. But yeah, it's PG-13. There are definitely some scary moments. So I wouldn't advise it for younger kids. But it was, I really enjoyed it. And it's with Studio Ghibli, there's always a message underneath it. And so the message for this one is about a child overcoming grief is really what the sole message is. And so it was really good. I liked it. Liked it a lot. But the other thing that I'm nerding out about this week.
Well, no, I want to follow up on the video.
Okay.
Part there, real quick.
All right.
Because I was watching and listening to Mithril's responses to you talking about it. When it comes to something kind of heavy like that, Mithril, do you enjoy that kind of content, or you watch it to be sad, or you to avoid it?
Definitely don't avoid it. Well, unless I'm like a particularly you mean like the topic in general?
Yeah. The kid dealing with grief, like Coco kind of was a sad. I haven't watched it, but it's a sad movie. Yeah.
I'm actually for them because there's a lot of feelings that children have had in the past that they don't understand or have a way to express, and the fact that we have a medium to translate it to them and help them cope and identify, I think it's very important, especially in movies and shows for that matter these days. So I definitely appreciate it, especially when it's well done. So like what you just said, that I was already planning to see that movie, but that can be a fine that's a thin tightrope to walk when you have that concept for children. And anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing how it's done, because I would trust Studio Ghibli to be able to do it well. So anyway, but I'm for it. Just make sure that it's done with purpose, and that you're, of course, properly rating it and giving it PG-13 and stuff. So like that kind of got my attention, because
Joe, what's that site you use that you can check movies about?
IMDb Parents Guide. So I use that if I'm wondering about stuff, if it's good, if I would deem it appropriate for my kids, because it'll give you a breakdown of this is the swearing, and oftentimes it's, hey, these are the words that are specifically the swear words that are said. It'll tell you about sexual content, violence, all kinds. So they break it up into a whole bunch of different categories, so that you can decide whether or not it's acceptable for your kids. Although, I love that. If it's a show you don't want to be spoiled on, you probably should just watch it without your kids first and figure it out, because you're going to get spoiled on IMDb Parents Guide. So, but
now, Joe, specifically, The Boy and the Heron.
Yes.
Is it a movie that you think you have to be in the right mindset for?
So while it does deal with childhood grief and things like that, it's done in such a way that it doesn't come across as heavy, in my opinion. Because it is a heavy topic, but it does it really, really well. It's more of the theme is definitely there, but it's somewhat of an undertone rather than, I mean, a lot of Studio Ghibli, it's an undertone, but it's very much, it's there throughout, but it's not like in your face. So
gotcha.
Yeah. At the animals and kids, my wife needs to know. Like, we watched Pay It Forward, and I did not, because you can't tell her the ending. If you haven't seen that, I'm going to tell you, you can't tell her the ending because it's the heart of the movie. I almost got a divorce over that one. She was so mad at me for making her watch that movie. She didn't finish the last 10 minutes after the climax of that movie. And I was like, I slept on the couch for like 3 nights. It was bad. So we went to John Wick. I was like, okay. Understand something really, really bad is going to happen to a dog, but you're going to really enjoy the rest of the movie because of it. Okay. And she powered through. Like I fast forwarded past it. She powered through. And then she's like, oh yeah. Okay. I like John Wick. It's good. Yeah. Because he avenges the dog. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I asked about these kind of things. You don't want to be surprised necessarily.
Did your wife watch Terabithia?
Oh,
Did we watch? I think she has. I'm trying to remember if we even watched it together.
Old Yeller, where the red fern grows.
Flowers for Algernon. Come on.
The Outsiders.
Awesome movie, regardless. Awesome movie and book, but yes.
Oh,
yeah.
All right,
Did you know that the writer had a small part in the movie?
No.
She was the nurse.
I didn't realize that. That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah.
So now, Joe, you can nerd out about a truly nerdy thing that you're. I'm so happy you're so proud of it. It looks great.
Yeah, so Charles asked me to rework our website. So I've been playing around with it and reworking it this past week. It now shows on the main page. Oh, Charles is going to go ahead and pull it up. So it shows on the main page a gallery of the recent VODs, our live stream VODs. And on the side, it makes a post automatically for every Wise and Nerdy clip that gets posted to WNN Clips. So those are all going to be there as well. I've also put down at the bottom of our website a link to join our Discord. So if you want to join our Discord, that is now open to the public. It's not a Patreon only thing. Though patrons do have special roles in the Discord. So, and actually, Mythral was the first person to notice that there was a link at the bottom of our Discord because we hadn't announced that this change was there. So Mythral went there all on her own and spotted it. So
I love you. You picked our original headers off of Twitch for Pokemon Go podcast.
So those were already on the website.
Yeah,
I just changed
for Pokemon for a
bit, yeah. I just changed all the verbiage down there.
Okay. And there's that. So we're going to change up the logos and all, but I love it.
And while we've been here, I've thought of something else I need to add to the Call Your Dad page. I'm going to put a list of the upcoming questions on there.
Oh, yeah.
So that if you go to wiseandnerdy.com/calleddad, then you can see the list of upcoming questions if you wanted to answer any of those questions, or you can just send us whatever voicemail you want. But I'm gonna put a list of the questions there as we set them up. So,
and that's on wiseandnerdy.com/calldad. But yeah, you can put a big bold thing that says click below to leave your voicemail. But yeah, a list of the upcoming questions would be brilliant. And then donate to your daddy takes you right to Patreon. So there's that.
Sure does.
Cool. I love it. Kurt, if you think of anything that needs to be added, by all means.
I'll take a closer look, but yes, I will do that.
I love that it's fresh every week without us having to go and update. So it's really cool. And there's you. Yep. And that's it. This big box at the top is live right now. I'm going to hit play and we're going to break the internet. Okay, I'm hitting play and it's not breaking the internet. I don't know what it's not doing. There's a big play button on it, but it's not letting me play.
Weird.
What's funny is I can refresh and it'll. Well, it didn't change up that time.
But on the other VODs that aren't live, you can click on them and watch them directly from our website. It's just the YouTube video, but yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if we could, not that you need to, but I wonder if we could embed it. But I love it because before it was just really old, original, like the first 2 months or less of original podcasts with AI art that we had a lot of fun with. But it's like at a certain point, it just became overly tedious to post, and people weren't really visiting the site. I love this now that if you do go to wiseandnerdy.com, you don't have to go hunting YouTube. It's up to date. All the videos are there. All the clips are there. We can actually, I think, Joe, we can actually make a tab for the podcast and have just a podcast player there, and they could listen to the podcast there as well if they wanted to do that. But thank you, Joe. And that's a really good idea. What is refraining from is you got to be a part of Patreon. Go to patreon.com/wise_nerdy. You get the full like 2.5 hour recording because we do a half hour before. We do sometimes about a half hour to 45 minutes after. And Joe is just a little geeky king.
Wow.
I found this code and I did this code thing. And I'm like, go for it, Joe. Let's do this. And I made him do I made him make his nerding out. Because the second that Kurt and Mithril showed up, he's like, hey, wait, look at this. And he started the whole story over, showing them, like, oh, show off your shiny card. Thank you, Joe. It was brilliant.
Yippers.
Kurt,
Yes.
Kurt, are you seriously coming back after a 6-year hiatus and talking about a Balatro for the umpteenth time?
Not really. No. So look, I can go through a couple things really quickly. I would talk about Balatro because the mobile version hit today for $9.99. So if you have not seen it and if you have never played it, go buy it blind. You will enjoy yourself. It's awesome.
Yeah, I got it downloaded. It's on my phone, ready to go.
Nice. The second thing, Agatha, All Along, the new Marvel show started last week, and so far it's really cool. So go check that out. But the thing that I was nerding out about the most might be one of the nerdiest things that I've brought to the table, and that is last week was the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships. And
okay, that is not what you. Okay, wait, Kurt. We're gonna do the anime thing, but in reverse. So Joe and Mithril, first off, have you ever heard of the Jigsaw Puzzle Championships?
No.
Okay, good.
I love it already.
Joe, tell me what you think how it works. Tell me how you think it works.
Everyone is given the same puzzle and they're timed at how fast they can put it together.
Huh.
That's my guess.
Mithril, what do you think?
Oh, yep. Go ahead.
I would say about the same, but more like a 3-dimensional puzzle because I know those are really big right now, but that's my guess.
Okay.
You're both wrong. It's about a kid who hits a stupid golf ball as hard as he can. That's legitimate. So, tell them about that.
So really, Joe is the closest. So, however, this happens every year in Spain, and they have 60 countries that get represented at the World Jigsaw Puzzle Championships. The competitions are broken down into singles, doubles, and teams, which are four people. And it goes through a quarterfinal round, a semifinal round, and a finals round. And there are 4 rounds in the first singles round. And so each one of those rounds gets their own puzzle because you can't use the same for all 4 because then other people will know what the puzzle is ahead of time.
Sure.
So they put them in blind bags, and part of the time is to rip them open it up, put it out there, and solve it as quickly as possible.
And dude, it's intense.
I watched they live stream it all. They live stream it all, and so I watched almost the entire thing, and it goes for hours because it takes a while, right? The singles competition is 500 pieces until the finals, and then it's 1,000.
Okay.
The singles competition, 500 pieces. The woman who won this competition and broke the world record, 32 minutes to do a 500-piece puzzle.
Wow.
That's fast.
It's really fast. And then in the finals for the teams, and the teams are 4 people on each team. The finals, they have 2 1,000-piece puzzles that they can do in whatever order they want, but they can't do the second one until they get done the first one.
Sure.
That's a lot of puzzling.
It's a lot. And it's ridiculously fast. And it's somehow really fascinating. Like it's just and I like jigsaw puzzles, but this makes me go, I wonder if I could practice.
Right? Right.
It's just there's something about it where you're just going, this is really cool, and it's so nerdy and nobody knows about it. So yeah, so that it was what I would have brought last week. It's Jigsaw puzzle, and so there are U.S. nationals that happen with regional competitions all over the place. Yeah, it's a thing, and it's really well attended. I think for the singles competition, I think they had 160 people competing because you have to qualify from the regionals.
It would make sense that a lot of the competitors are single.
Yeah,
that's a rock god level joke. Yeah. Look at you sneaking it in.
But I think they got to the point where there were so many people there this year that they may have to start limiting attendance.
Wow.
My love life to pieces. This is
my daughter bought my wife for Christmas. Two 2,000-piece puzzles from Disney, and on the box it's an easy to see picture with everything. Cool. Thousands a lot. We still haven't finished it. Like, it was on the table for a long time. We finally just put it away. But here's the trick that Disney pulled: was the picture is a white square and Disney characters. Okay.
Yeah.
What the actual puzzle is it adds this like tartan red and black pattern along the sides that repeats, that is not on the picture when you buy the box. So finding the edges is really difficult, because also the way they cut it, it can fit in different ways in different places. So it's not just it only fits here, and we gave up on that one. It was too much. It was a lot. It was crazy.
I don't want to tell you how many Disney puzzles I have here. My wife does jigsaw puzzles.
You see that Hulk behind him? That's a puzzle that he put together and just pasted on the wall.
Oh, we might tell it on the after show, but there's a fun fan story to that thing. But yeah, Joe, it's good. But Kurt, I do have to ask you, you've done a lot of Disney puzzles. Do all of them trick you? Like, here's the picture, but then they add some extra difficulty, or no?
No, most of them are fine. Most of them are pretty straightforward, but yeah, some of them lie.
Yeah, these ribbons are like 2.5 pieces wide, and they all have crisscrossing lines. Like, oh, I hate you so much, Disney, right now.
Yeah.
So, Mithril,
sir,
all night long, we've been staring at all night long. We've been staring at three things: Bluey really being creepy behind you, Chinese food running around, and these wings that are protruding out of your back. What are you wearing? What are you nerding out about these wings?
So I believe I don't know if you remember, but I believe that was the day that I had them when I first met you at Dragon Con, that these are the Griffin wings, and I don't have it on right now because I didn't think it was a point, but I've also got like a long lion's tail. And it's just the ensemble of, my stream. I just wanted to compliment it a bit, just kind of throw something in there.
Because you like
Griffins!
So when you
Griffin in Georgia.
So Mithril, when you go visiting the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, do you enter the Gryffindor?
Oh God!
No, not that. I was doing that long before Harry Potter was a thing. It's like I was a fan before freaking.
No, that's okay. That was purely for Charles.
that anger, that vitriol, that deep-rooted hate in her soul. I was a fan for Harry Potter. Please don't stab us. Thank you. But yeah, Griffins. So the mythology of Griffins seems to be where you started then.
Yeah. When I was little, I think I was like in second or third grade. It was a long time ago. We had I think it was like a high schooler where they were doing that thing where you get like extra credit for going to go visit, your local elementary school, or whatever, spend time with the kids, whatever. We're sitting in a circle, and this poor kid didn't seem to know what to do with us. So he's like, "Hey kids, what's your favorite animal?" And first, second, third grade, whatever it was, really early on, he comes around. I'm trying to think, okay, I like cats, but do I want to make that my answer? And he comes around to me, and I'm like, hey, can you come back to me? And then, let him go around and get everybody to tell him their animal. And finally he comes back around and he's like, I can't decide between a bird or a cat. I love them both equally. And he's like, well, what about a griffin? And he explains what that is. And I'm like, and just ever since, it's like, I like that. It was almost as if that was like I got my cutie mark. If it was like a My Little Pony thing going on, I could see like, an aspect of my personality. And definitely, I love having the best of both worlds. I like being a jack of all trades. I like having different skills, or at least knowing somebody that's more excelled in something so I can learn from. And anyway, I just love that balance. And to me, I know I get a lot of people like, okay, so you're a furry and whatnot. I was like, no, that's just, just because you walk around with a sports shirt doesn't make you the person on the team. The answer is really no. Just, I like them. I really think they're cool. I like them as much as anybody would appreciate, what they're really into. So, yeah. And plus, I love being able to say the Griffan pun, like the people on the account. Hey, Griffans, what's up? And just.
Such a shame you're booked up till 2027. We'd love to have you back at some point.
Oh, wait, I don't know. Maybe
look, my brain goes all over the place. When you said the My Little Pony thing, I was like, My Little Griffin, My Little Griffin.
Yes.
Ripped your face off, and she's cute.
But it goes for the little nestlings, feed them so they be warm in the winter when their eggs hatch.
Random kids got some good questions. Why are griffins superior to hippogriffs?
Well, they're not. It's just what happened when somewhere a griffin decided to play with its food, because as everybody knows, back in the mythology, I think it was like Greek mythology, they would say that griffins led the chariots of Zeus. Greek? Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when they looked down on Earth, they would see that horses were leading chariots on Earth, so that's why they would come down and be like, rah! And carry off with the food. So no, they're not necessarily superior. It's just when Griffin pureblood got too excited about playing with its food and its version of Chinese food, and they have the hippogriff.
What are your thoughts on the manticore?
Which version?
I don't know. Big Randos is. What are your thoughts? Or Chimera?
Chimera. Oh, geez. Oh man, I love pretty much anything that's like spliced up with different features and stuff. I like what they symbolize and stuff, and they're fascinating. Like, I used to love to read the stories of Piers Anthony's
Xanth.
Mm-hmm. Quest for Chameleon was the first one I read. Yep. Yes, and I'm still trying to get my husband to read that one. I think he would really like it. It's
good.
It was a really good one. It was my first one, and I'm like, okay, I gotta have more. And you just, the Manticore is pretty good, solid. I mean, I think that Manticores, hippogriffs, griffins, I know there's one like chimeras. I think they're all in a good little tight knit family. Gargoyles and stuff. I just like what they symbolize and they bring to stories and like the deeper and darker sometimes fairy tales or the made for adults kind of aspect. It just makes people think. And you know what? I wish that they would call them Aethiopians, someone that appreciates. That needs to be a thing. I think some people have said it here and there, but Aethiopian, someone that loves the Aesop, if I'm pronouncing it right, fables, stories that are led by animals or all inclusive of animals, and because there are things that we pay attention to and see a bit of ourselves in them, or might not realize it until we see these animals and they say or do something that really makes us think about each other and ourselves and things that we relate to. And I love them. I just love them all. The griffins are all on top. Can't really see it at this angle, but I got like a whole collection of different griffins throughout my years of stuff I get.
Nice.
Every time I get a chance, if I can afford it and it's a griffin, I'm going to get it.
Yeah, have a tattoo of a griffin?
No. I don't have any
tattoos. Goals. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I don't know.
A little tattooed on your face. No.
I just got through with my harder parts of trypanophobia, so I don't know if I'd be able to handle that forever. And then have to go back every couple of years or decade or whatever it is to touch it up. Not to mention, I wouldn't be able to decide. Like, I might have one idea, but I don't think I'll be happy with it forever. And be like, well, I want to redo it now, so I'll just stick with temporary tattoos.
That's a good one. There's a really cool company. They don't sponsor us, and honestly, I don't remember the full name of them, but it's really high end. Like you can send in your own design, temporary tattoos for adults, and it lasts for about a month and a half, and it looks like a real tattoo for a while. It looks really cool.
See, I think what if I was ever consider it, I would go with something like that to test drive it.
At least test it and see what.
Or skin drive it, test skin it.
Yeah, that sounds like a cannibal thing. We're gonna test skin it.
Oh gosh.
Kurt,
as it puts the lotion on the skin.
What heat, temperature, smoke / hour length do we have to smoke human skin to get it crispy? All right. Griffins want to know. My nerding out about right now is this week breaking news.
Cannibalism is on the rise.
In Georgia.
When it floods,
I'm getting to a point where it's like everything happens in Georgia. I shouldn't be surprised by anything at this point.
Except education. We don't have a lot of that. But earlier this week, I finally got the notification I've been waiting for. TikTok has told me I can go live. And so I waited, and I don't care for many TikTok lives because on the podcast, you're just going to have to imagine what I do here, but you'll kind of figure it out if you've ever watched TikTok. Every time I scroll through a TikTok live, except for one or two, like a musician, usually they're talking or playing the music, but every other live is a very visual demonstration. Is this.
Oh, because they're just reading chat.
Yeah, they're kind of reading chat. Oh, hey, Mithril. Yeah. Oh, and I'm like, oh, you're kidding. I can't. Or they're just sitting there looking at something on their table and not. I can't. This is why I can't watch a lot of Twitch streamers. I'm not here for the game. I'm here for you. So if you're just going, click, I can't do it. So I was like,
they need that new teleprompter from Elgato where you can put your camera behind it. So you just, while you're reading, you're just looking at the camera.
That's built into the TikTok app now.
There
is a teleprompter built into TikTok.
But then you're reading. At least
no, but at least you can if you at all half talented, you can fake it, right?
Sure.
You can look at the camera and you can be animated while you're reading. But yeah.
I believe that. It might take some practice.
Yeah.
I've been watching the award show. The best people make you believe they're not reading, but everything is on the prompter. Everything at an award show. Now they may break script, but it's still there.
Unless if you're on the movie UHF with Weird Al Yankovic, that guy was very obvious.
Oh, that was a good one.
I love spatulas so much that I bought the company. Spatula City.
So I was
Spatula City.
Oh, that's the best ad ever. I love it. And they did it like twice in the movie, I want to say. 2 or 3 times, but yeah, it was good.
We've got spatulas. That's all.
I'm the only one drinking on the show, by the way, everybody. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I got to kind of mentally prepare because I am not going to do that. And as the patrons all know, I'm very good at just talking to myself. But here's the
true story.
I did not go to TikTok. Shut up, Joe. Did not go to TikTok studio that my son has on. My son streams games on TikTok. And on the PC for a while, anybody could use the TikTok Live Studio for PC. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be more natural on my phone. That's where I like to create 4 TikToks on the phone. And so, like, okay, I'm mentally prepared. I'm getting all set. I have this really cheap, and TikTok shot me by it. I had this really cheap $10 loft set that plugs into my phone. And there's a second one that's in a case somewhere, but it comes with 2 lofts. I only need one. And they're okay. They're great, but they're fine. So I got that all set up. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go live. I know kind of what I want to talk about. And I went, hey, right next to live. I mean, it goes live and goes, you want to talk or do you want to do mobile gaming? I went, go on. And you can do mobile games on TikTok, which I love to play games when I'm sitting out in the dark by my fire pit. Like during the summer, it's a fan pit. I put fans on top of it, but I sit outside, enjoy the weather, and it's not great for TikTok, right? So I'd have to bring a ring light and have the face. And like, oh, the mobile game, I played Slay the Spire. which is, and
Yes.
I'm going to play Balatro on it as well. But we'll talk after about Slay the Spire.
Yep.
So,
Mhm.
and you can play any game on it, and it's beautiful. I preset it up, right? I got Slay the Spire ready, then opened up TikTok. Once you set up your live for me, the mobile gaming, you can change the title. And I talked about, I'm going to play Slay the Spire. I'm just going to chit chat, whatever. And you hit go, it gives you like a 45-second countdown. It says get it set up before it counts down. But there's a big button that says open Slay the Spire, because I already selected that as my game. And and it just rolls right into it. It puts this little translucent thing over the game, so I could see who's in chat if they want to talk. No cameras, just a nice bright game. And my son watched on TikTok to help me give me feedback. You don't see what TikTok's seeing,
Right?
You just go and play the game. And he says it's real time, it's smooth, and you can hear it. So I get to just do my drunken uncle rambling over playing this video game.
Drunkle.
I love it. Yeah, I'm a drunkle for 100%. And I loved it. Loved it. Got 100 likes. Had a bunch of people watch it 30 minutes. It was fantastic. Did a little bit, about 20 minutes tonight before we got ready for the show. So much fun. So cool. I'll still probably do some talking head stuff, but I've always struggled to find my niche in gaming, because I like gaming, but I'm really there to distract myself while I'm talking about things.
Yeah.
This is that magic spot for me. And there's other modes. I haven't gone past mobile gaming because it hooked me. So There we are.
Just don't bother with the PC Studio. It's terrible.
I don't want to get on my computer and do it.
Yeah.
I'll go to Twitch if I'm going to.
I wanted to do it. I tried it once, and it's terrible. I went back to mobile. The PC Studio sucks.
So go.
If it's not mainstream, I've heard about it. It's probably sucks.
Yeah.
The phone is fun. And I have Android, Samsung Galaxy A23. The mics are not as good as the iPhone, any of the iPhones, in my opinion. There's a lot of good things it does. I don't like it. I will say there's a lot of good things it does, but being able just to plug in a USB-C, $10. I mean, I'm definitely going to end up getting like some of the nicer. The brand is newer. Some of the newer Lavs. I got Tyra bought some and let me play with them. I'll probably invest in some of those. But yeah, nice little sound. Play the game. It's so much fun. So make sure you go over to TikTok and find Rock God of Podcasting. Linktree/RGOP42 is where you can find all that stuff. Joe, what's your link tree there, sir?
Linktree/Joseph_Hard.
There you go. Kurt, what's your link tree?
Linktree/VO by Kurt.
There we go. You know what? I love all of you. Here's the last comment.
You're not even going to ask Mythril for her?
I don't have
her at the commercial break.
Wow,
Don't
what
make
a
me
jerk.
go around. So, Grizzly Warrior,
you know what, Charles? You know what?
Grizzly Warrior says, I hope and wish. No. Grizzly Warrior says, I hope and wish she shows up again on the pod. Yes, we hope so too. You've been great, Mythril.
Thank you
so much.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
I love all of you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Come follow us every week. And check out wiseandnerdy.com where you can find all of our awesomeness.